Amaziograph is a fun app that it lets you do all kinds of great symmetrical designs. You can do radial designs, you can do just a symmetrical drawing, you can do tessellations. So it's got a lot of different designs that you can do. So when you open it up, you'll probably get a blank screen like this. And if you go over and you hit the plus button, that lets you choose. You're going to make a new design, and you can have just a drawing if you want. So if you just want to draw, you can too. You can do the mirror image, so symmetry. You can do the radial symmetry, and you can do a bunch of tessellation designs. So there's all kinds of choices. So if I go ahead and just choose, maybe I'll choose rotation and kaleidoscope. So if I touch that, you'll notice a grid pops up. The grid just helps us when we do our design. And then there's a bunch of things at the top, kind of at the top bar here. The first one, if I click that, that is how I can choose if I want to fill in a paint bucket or a pen, or if I want to erase. This is going to show you what your line is. So if I go down here and I change the width by toggling, see how my line width changes. Opacity, so that's a fun one you'll want to use. See how light and dark you can make your lines. You can get a lot of depth when you use that. The softness just changes the brush stroke a little bit. And then the color, so if you click on that, that's a fun part. You'll notice these are the colors right up top are the main colors, and then down here is the colors that I've mixed. So what you can do, and I wonder if we can just sort of, what you can do is mixing. So what you do is you drag the color into the palette and you wiggle your finger back and forth. And then you repeat again with another color. So they've shown you how they've taken the primaries and they've mixed the secondary colors. My palette's pretty full. There must be a way to get rid of the palette. So if I take my color and I slide it down into another color, and then I wiggle my finger, see I've changed that orange. So I can take this white right here and slide it into the purple, and then wiggle my finger and see how the purple's gotten lighter. So you can make a great, great number of colors. And then whatever color you want, you would just click on it. And then see up here, that shows you where the color is. And then again, this is brush size as well, so you can do it up top, or you can do it back where we were. And again, this is the opacity. So all the things that are in these sliders, you can do all at once, or you can do them right up here. It's the same thing. So I can go ahead and make my brush a little bigger. I can make the opacity a little lighter, and I like that color, so I'm going to skip and stick with that. And then you just start drawing. So this is really light. And then if I want to change my color, I just go back and touch the color. I'm going to pick a new color, and I want to change the opacity. I want to make this one a little darker. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a little darker so you can see. And I'm going to fill in here just a little bit darker. And then maybe I'll go back and change my color again. I'm going to bring a little white down here, soften it up. And then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to make it a little darker now. I'm going to make my brush a little thinner so I can kind of fill in. So as I draw, see how it's not much of a different color, but it's just a different opacity than what I was using? I'll show you. See, so it shows up brighter because it's much darker. And you can kind of make all these cool designs depending on what you're doing. You can slide it, wiggle, 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 and you'll get another color. So you can just keep playing around with this. I'm going to make it really light. Kind of fill in. There is a paint bucket, so you have to be careful. It will fill in sort of different sections. And it gets kind of addicting when you play around and make all these different designs. Make that really dark. And you can kind of play around. When you think you're done, what you do is you come over here. Right here is this circle. And the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the grid. So I'm going to, right here, display grid. If I click on that, now those lines are gone and I just see my design. And then it's actually telling me what type I have. If I wanted to change it, yeah, it doesn't do anything. You can't change it now, I don't think. It's not really changing anything. So I guess the next thing is the little wrench over here. That's where I want to hit share and print. And yes, sometimes be careful because this will sometimes quit when we've saved them before. That's all right, it saves it on your iPad. So you can hit save to camera roll. See, it's quit on me, and that's okay. It's just something about this app that does that. But it doesn't disappear. See, it's still right here in my collection, so if I touch it, open it back up, I have to get rid of the grid again. So I'm going to go back to the circle, touch that grid toggle, then go over here, share and print, save to camera roll. Now it should be fine. So you don't get an OK or anything, so what you might want to do is go out and go into your photos just to make sure, and I see it's right there. And there's my photo. So that is how you use Amaziograph.